Alright, good morning everybody. I've got some time on my hands, it's Sunday, and I figured, given that I wanted to do some more Football Manager, I thought I might as well do it on stream, like I usually do. So, we're up for an hour or two of additional streaming. We'll see where we end. Not that much, hopefully. And we'll go through the first real game of the season, if I'm not totally mistaken, which is an away game against Lunds BK. So, I named this episode the Incapable Squad. We'll see how capable they are going forward. But I will also try to go for a bit shorter episodes going forward. Well, depends a bit, or I may cut them at some point. But these 8-hour sessions are probably a bit long. So let's see if I manage to do that, or if I will go for 11 hours in the future. Anyway, I'll remove all of these. Yes, this is our first team, but I want to make a game by game decision at this point. So let's see how training will be. I don't think we talked to the players recently, so we might as well do that. Look into the training and see if there's anything to improve upon. And given that overall look, I think training-wise there's a lot to improve already. So we praised him recently, as it seems. Ytterhogdals though we didn't comment on. And I also realized that we will... Ostrom improved a little bit. I also realized that we will need to change training just in preparation for the next match. So Ytterhogdals happy for some reason. Ostrom 7.05, that's not good enough, I think. For a fairly professional player at least, that's not good enough. But he did improve a bit, and I hope that his heading and marking will improve much going forward. Or at least up to a level of 8, let's say. Yeah, an 8 we need. So similar argument can be made for Corovic, the usual. And there's already the stuff with the jumping menu going on again. None of these deserve praise, right? So I think Puget did develop to some degree. Was okay in training lately. Yeah, so the text implies that okay is okay, but I think 6.05 is not okay. And same for 6.1. We want a higher standard, I think. So let's look for moderately higher standard here. Same with Nila for cell. Okay. Oh, maybe up onto, I don't know, 6.3 is a bit. Yeah. Well, anyway, the rest of them, they deserve their warning. Definitely. Oh, it just came to my mind that we also need to set up set pieces for the remainder of the season. So, yeah, we have some stuff on our hands today. Hopefully we'll make it to the first game. But that was the goal at least. I thought of doing 1 or 2. Now we gotta set up set pieces that might take a while. But on the other hand, I really want to do that in detail at some point in the season, and maybe even include some variations. That's let's say it's perfectionism. But on the other hand, I feel like this could influence the outcome of a game, and depending on how we line up, this is probably worthwhile looking into. So, okay, I'm gonna confess to this on stream right now. I always wanted to do one save where I configure set pieces prior to every game, prior to every lineup. And I'm not sure if this is viable, but we'll try. And that's something I find annoying. So it's not like I have a lot of fun with it. Yes, this is a game, but I enjoy winning on the other hand. So I'm willing to put in the effort. Okay, training. So what do we expect going forward? What's a viable training solution here? Well, most of them could use some match practice, so the 2 sessions of match practice are fine. Team bonding and teamwork, yes, dynamics needs improvement, but I think as a match preparation this is a bit overload. And now let's have a look to the board here. So usually I go with defensive positioning, but in this case we've got the new it's expected of us that we make the most of set pieces. So they want us to score a large amount of goals from set pieces. This implies 2 things to me. It implies that we get a lot of set pieces and that we score them. Usually I don't play for set pieces here, but in this situation we will. And the same with the defensive formation. Well, we already do play for set pieces. Okay, this is an away game. I assume, going forward, that for an away game we will be able to not concede. I realize that this is probably a flawed assumption, but that's what we're going for. So I also want to look into our right backs. Are they capable of playing no nonsense? Well, barely. Okay. So this defensive formation only works if we've got an inverted winger here that's borderline capable. In case of Puget, I don't think that's a problem. He's also got the pace, the dribbling. Yeah, more or less. He's fast enough, I think, and with some playing time he might improve. Did we just? Yeah, we just offered him another contract. So we might have a chance to hold on to him for a bit longer too. We missed out on 14k that were offered for him, or even more. I'm especially concerned about the Metzala position here. So there's Lilydal as an option, Ekman as an option, or Forsell as an option that's borderline viable. But the other guys we signed, yeah, they are not match fit just yet. That's especially true for Corovic, who has the technicals, is still lacking a bit in other areas. Yeah, but he probably can do this. So yes, also the mentals. So he's mostly got the technical stuff. On the other hand, he's 22, and he doesn't look like he might develop into something really great. That's exactly what we were going for in this situation. He was cheap. Okay, €6 per week. And also he's got he's a decent set piece taker for corners as well as free kicks, and even his penalty taking is great. So in that sense, I would be willing to endure some bad overall performances if he can make a mark on the game from the set piece side. So let's start with the easiest one, penalties. This needs to change a little bit at least. Okay, Skillermo is a decent penalty taker, but he's not really much better. He's got composure 8. Corovic is missing some of these attributes. I'd still rather go with him for all set pieces. I know that's a bit weird, but no, this doesn't make any sense really. It's not a bit weird, it doesn't make any sense. So the penalty taking 9 is similar. There's no reason to use Corovic over Warwick or Skillermo. But Warwick and Skillermo will probably not be on the pitch most of the time. So Warwick is the better option. That's simply two. Vorlin here we just signed as an option for the future. He's out on loan anyway, so no use in including him. And then there's Corovic and Ishak. And Corovic is the better penalty taker, and Ishak is the second best penalty taker, and then we go with Ytterhogdals. It's not like Corovic and Ishak will be on the pitch at the same time anyway. And seriously, if Ytterhogdals takes the penalty, we're probably down to a certain situation in the squad that we don't want to encounter anyway. So that's penalty taking. Is there much to do about this? Well, yes and no. Let's have a look into training. He's doing free kicks for some reason. Skiller's been doing passing training. This is fine. Corovic is on attacking movement so far. So there's two ways to go about this. Either he improves in what we play him for, or he improves as an overall player. And in this situation, I think we need to improve him as an overall player. But on the other hand, I'd love for his set pieces to go up a little bit. That's not exclusive to penalties though, especially given that his long shots is 11. I think the free kick taking is the most viable option here. I want him to score these direct free kicks. So yeah, let's try that. But his attacking movement and stuff is so bad, and might have an influence on set pieces too. A tiny one at least. Or on simply the, I don't know, the mental awareness, let's put it that way. So given that he's challenged on the physical and on the mental side, I'll keep him on that training. But going forward, we might say he starts complaining, we will try to train him in free kicks a bit more. So back to the overview. Now we've got penalties configured. I want to see if penalties are the same here. Football Manager is weird in that way sometimes. No, this is the same. Okay. So penalties do not get changed. So now we'll do them one by one. So first team squad, Ytterhogdals will usually be up front, and we will have an away game. Okay. Ytterhogdals is no, it's not Ytterhogdals up front. What am I doing here? It's Ishak up front. Ytterhogdals is our strongest player, but in this formation it's actually down to Puget to play in his position. Anyway, Anton Ishak. Anton Ishak is a decent jumper, he's moderately strong, his heading isn't great, but as a striker he's no good finisher. So if goals come from him, it will be with the head. Now, preferably I'd have him in a spot where he is entirely free, but in a corner situation that will not happen. But in a corner situation, I think it's still viable to have him as a goal scorer in the penalty area. I think that we can agree upon. Now, I want to compare him to the central defenders though, because I have the... Well, it might be that Ishak is from a header, from a pure heading perspective, is not as good as a goal scorer as the central defenders. And the same goes for Corovic. Corovic has a bit better heading and bravery, and this overall looks well rounded. He might do as a goal scorer from set pieces, say near post corners, as we usually did so far, but it might be that the central defenders are better. So let's look into these. Ytterhogdals is definitely the better jumper, has better strength, and he has better heading. Bravery is not that great, but yeah, in this position he will probably be better. Who else? Boltegård Blom. Not a discussion. He's better suited to score goals off the corners as a pure jumper and header. Wickberg. That's comparable. It's not like the striker's much worse, but it's comparable. So we could deal with that. And then there's... who's the fourth? I forgot who is our fourth central defender. Hellström it should be. Where is he? Here. I'm blind. Alright, so this is Hellström. Physicals wise this will do. It's not great. And as a header and... well, his heading is bad. So even compared to our strikers. But it's not like 4. and he might improve in it, so I can also deal with that. Now overall, it's more or less it's a wash. So this is great news to an extent, because that means we don't have to change it around all the time, right? This is okay. All right, so let's go with standard setup here: Ytterhogdal to the right, Hellstrom to the left. Fully realizing that this might be Boltigord Blom and this might be whatever his name is, Vigberg. I'm confused today. Both of these can also be scored from corners, and after a short pawns corner or something, and same goes for Ishak and Corovic. So there's not much of a difference. That's great. Now we thought about all possible lineups in this situation. So in each and every setup, we want one of these to be well, viable options from corner taking. We'll go with attacking on the right side first. So we got no taker here. First of all, we need a set piece taker here. Given this lineup, I imagine that Corovic will be on the pitch most of the times. I realize that he is not a strong player, but this is what I'm going for going forward. He might do corners from the right side. Well, does he? No, he's right-footed. So okay, so we'll do the left ones first. All right. Now, so let's remove all of this and go through it one by one. As I said, this might take a while. I hope we get to the first game anyway today, but if we don't, you know why. So now there's two possible options. Either Melander plays in his position as a Metzala and takes the corner for him, or he does it himself, or he isn't on the pitch and Melander is back here as a register. So this means somebody from midfield will always take the corner. We shouldn't rely on somebody from midfield to be in a defensive position in this situation. Now, he will not be on the field as a register in this situation, obviously, because there's a ball-winning midfielder here. So this would be somebody like Assarsson. But if Melander's on the field, we want him to take the corner, because he's just a better corner taker. That's it. And he's not, well, he's of a similar setup, let's say, as Corovic. Okay, Melander will take him from the left side, and in case he's on the pitch, Corovic will do it. Otherwise, these are players out on the wing. Now, this comes to my surprise a little bit, but they might not take corners after all in these situations. It's just not what we're going for this season, because we expect that one of these two will be on the pitch. This is a hefty assumption, of course, but Melander and Corovic are both central midfielders, so one of them might be on the pitch most of the time. Is there anybody else who's got decent corner taking? Well, Hellberg might be an option, and Fossell might be an option. This is not great, right? As corner takers, go. But the easy thing about it now is if we go for the midfielders all the time, we can set up the midfielders so that they are in central midfield at the time of corner taking, and in case they are employed as corner takers, they will not be there, which is not a big deal. And we can use one of these guys here to come short. Always. So we have the option to go with a short corner instead, without taking the corner taker setup, which is something that yeah, we should do. So we'll include a second routine. That's yeah, that will be a load to do all of this, but I want to go there. I want to do this. At least for now. I'll change my mind in 5 minutes, but for now I want to do this. So this is attacking corners to the left, okay? Alright, let's it's not that bad. I don't think we have to reset this to default just yet. So, corner taker is clear. There's a corner taker here from midfield in the situation. It's Corovic, right? Yeah, it's Corovic. If Melander's on the pitch, Melander will take it. Those are both right-footed players, and they will be missed in the center of the pitch at this point. The left defender, he can go back. We didn't pick anyone here, so let's pick somebody. Usually we expect Muteba to be in that role. Muteba is a good defender, not so much on the offense. And he's got most of what's needed as a defender, so why not have him defend anyway? This person, if this person doesn't take the kick, we probably want them to lurk outside the area, so this might need a bit of shuffling around there. Yeah. This is annoying, but it's just the way it is in Football Manager. Or maybe it's me. So no, we can't do that. Yeah, we gotta put somebody else in that spot, and then okay, whatever. So let's leave it there. My problem is if he doesn't take the kick, like in this setup, like say we play Melander and Corovic for some reason, all of a sudden he doesn't take. Yeah, now the other guy takes the kick, Melander, and great. And this is no longer true. Yes, but still, it doesn't work that way. Football Manager apparently, or the user interface, I'd say, doesn't account for this kind of possibility. So we want him to take the kick. Now we've got a midfielder on the left side here. The midfielder on the left side in this case is Puget. If we look at Puget's profile, his crossing isn't great, but he's always got the option to dribble, go for the long shot, and go for a dangerous pass, cutting inside from the left side. That's basically his core role, right? He might not. Well, his crossing isn't as bad as expected of an inverted winger. That sounds weird because it's still a winger, but yeah, he's got not the perfect sample for this, but he will do. This guy will, usually this is for sell. So let's go with for sell. The person in box-to-box midfielder spot might have a decent long shot going forward, but not today. Overall, this is not bad. He's better at jumping and going into the penalty area in this situation at some point. The defensive midfielder will always be a defensive-minded player. In this kind of formation, I'm not sure if I should care. This is the defensive setup, so I'm not sure if I should care about him going forward and scoring goals. Let's see, lurking him outside the area is not better than keeping him in the back. He usually should avoid some goals. And right defender is the same. They should be. Let's just put somebody on the pitch here. So let's go with Ngongo, because he's the strongest right now. He's really fast. So This is a bad example too. He's really useless outside the penalty area. He's really useless going forward. He's got a jumping reach and a strength, but that's about it. Here I feel he can outrun most long balls. This is great, but it's also a bad example. If we go for somebody else here, like, well, Anderson might play here from time to time, given that he's captain. He is better suited for the defensive duties, even though he's bad overall. Teamwork's lacking and so on. Lurking outside the area is not a thing. Going forward is not a thing. It's well for him to be in the back. That means we still have a highly structured setup now of 5 players that try to penetrate the box. For the right winger, I'm not sure if this is a great idea. Let's have a look. Who will play here? Usually, well, one of the strikers. That's well, former strikers. That's Ytterhogdals or Warwick. So in Ytterhogdals' case, as same as in Warwick's case, both of these are capable finishers. So that's why we set them up in corner taking at this spot. Yes, this is the right one. See? So they are missing some of it. but they're decent finishers. In case of a deflection, we expect them to put it in. They should be able to tap it in. Also, as former strikers, they are not absolutely really incapable in terms of strength, jumping reach, and so on. We can also just tell them to go forward. This is the same sample of attributes. This is more about the setup overall. So I will also do something here. I'll change these two, and I'll go with the striker lurking at the near post. Why? Simple thing. These two might not go, so they try to go forward and penetrate. He runs for it, but he comes from a deeper position. He's just looking at the position. He might get blocked. In case he gets blocked, he needs to get back. And overall, I feel that, well, the hope is that in this setup, this is overall a deeper position for the central defender, even though they are all in the penalty area, and it's probably a wash. And the same goes for the defender here. Well, whilst he is lurking at the post, and well, this implies that they need somebody, a strong person on exactly at the post. Now, usually the post is marked with a small player, I'd say. So whatever. The thing is, going backwards, this is the right lineup, because he's on the left, he's on the right, and he's the player the most forward on the pitch. So maybe let's keep it like this. This is the near post corner. Okay, let's save this. This is corner near post left. This is the new setup for this. Now, there's a problem. This is... No, that's not a problem. No, I got it right. Okay, so next one. Now that we have this setup, sometimes this might not work for one reason or another, but we might realize that this guy is not marked. Usually we expect the near it's instructed for near post. So usually we'd expect the near post corners to be our best chance, but sometimes we might see that Hellström or whoever is in that position might not stand a chance, and it doesn't go well. So we want to do something else. In this situation, it might be that this guy out here is not marked, or his marker is really bad at marking for some reason. We gotta see that throughout the match, so we will need to change that on a match-by-match basis, even within the match, depending on who's on the pitch. But I want a second option here. And the second option is really easy. You go for a short corner, and he can either dribble, cutting inside, go for a pass here, there's options, go for a cross, which is the most viable option, or even go for a long cross for the far post for Warwick. It doesn't matter much. His decision making isn't great, so he will probably go for the dribble in most cases. Or maybe not, maybe even decide something really bad. But overall, it's a second option. So this setup, the rest of the stuff on the pitch remains exactly the same. But now we save this as a corner short left. And now we can switch these. I don't know why it doesn't load both. Yeah, so that's my thought process. Now we can, within the game, we can switch them. Yeah, it's weird that we always have to load the routine, but well, if that's how it is, great. So now we got a moderately expected tactical setup on the pitch too. Let's put Zetterberg on here just for good measure. Okay. We need a corner. So this is probably a viable lineup for us. We thought about a lot of the stuff already. Now from the right side, same problem. What's going on the right? So who's a viable corner taker from the right side? Well, from the right side we have the problem that there is no strong left-footed player. Warwick can take corners though. How is Talander in taking corners? Really bad. Like 5. And his crossing is 8 at least. I think he's been training them though. Yeah, he's been training doing corners. So where will he go throughout the season? Maybe to 6, if it goes well. Even though Tillander has been developing, but maybe to 6. Similar argument can be made about Wickberg. They're also both useful as scorers. So given that we expect them to play on the right wing, well, we gotta think about it this way. Is this really the best we can do with giving them the corner taking duty? So either we go with a right-footed player that goes for the header, or we let somebody from midfield take him. Well, okay, Hellström not, definitely not. He's a defender. I confused him with Hellberg right now. Here he is. But so Hellberg's a right-footed player too. No, the only left-footed player we got here is in that position is basically Warwick. So, but Melander and Corovic, one of the two will probably be on the pitch, right? Doesn't matter much. So if we got a right-footed corner taker from the right side, which is new, we have an outswinging corner. For me, this implies that lurking at the post is not a viable option, for example. This doesn't make much sense. If the corner is outswinging, lurking at the post is not useful, because the ball will not go there. Are there other options? Sure. If we set up the set piece takers, just like in this situation. Yeah, we're still both taking corners. Why is that set up the other way? Oh yeah, sure. Because we want Corovic to take him most of the time. But it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, Melander can take him. Because we realized that they're in defensive formation there's no register anyway, right? So this will be a central midfielder more often than not. And even if it is this defensive midfielder, from time to time, there's still the two fullbacks in the back. So I don't think this is a bad setup defensive-wise. Okay. So from the right side, we got two right-footed players taking the corner. Let's look into this. No, this is not viable. I don't think this works. Simple. It may, but not most of the time. Lurking outside the area for the other one is fine. This is Harry Warwick though. Stay back if needed is not the correct duty for him. As a striker, or as a former striker, well, he's same as Tillander. They both have the finish and the mentals. Let's just switch this for a second. Where is Tillander? Come on, Tillander. Come here. Same here. Well, more or less. In Tillander's case, he's really lacking the physicals. Jumping reach, strength heading. He's really just a pacey guy. So he's not suited to attack the ball from deep. But what are we going to do with him anyway? Otherwise, it's not like we have another viable option for him. He can come short, but well, in his case, he's a decent crosser. So that might be an option, yes. Actually, that's not the best, not the worst, right? For him to come short. Yeah, that's not the worst decision. What about if Warwick is in this situation? Again, let's compare this. If Warwick is here, his crossing is not great, but overall this might do. So depending on who's on the pitch, we might want him to do something else. Great. Still, as a short option in corner taking, the inverted winger is probably not the worst. Probably better than the defender, at least. Sorry. So probably better than the right defender to come short, right? Yeah. Well, most of the times they should be, because the defender in this situation is a it might even be a central defender. It's a no-nonsense fullback. And that's what we go for. Left side. Pacey guy here. So the rest of this is more or less fine. I will probably do something like this. But I will not play them for the near post. Because I don't think this is a viable option with an outswinging corner. Doesn't make much sense to me. I want him to lurk outside the box. Same as in the other setup. This is okay. If the left one of the two midfielders lurks outside the box, this one will be wrong. But I cannot change this right now. It's the way it is. It's just stupid, but whatever. So we'll call this corner short right. This implies that we will not go for near post corners. Well, just due to the strong foot. We might have a problem here, because they get closed down too much. Can we take the corner for midfield? So edge of area corner, I think is more viable here. It's more viable if we do it like this, just from the corner taker's perspective. So somebody might still go for the near post, somebody might mark the keeper, and so on and so forth. This is all okay. But I'd want him to go forward. Or maybe even edge. I mean, I'm not sure what edge of the area implies here. Yeah, okay. This is a bad graphical representation in this case. It should go something like somewhere here, right? Edge of the area is here in this situation. So it doesn't matter much what we do to them. Actually, what we can do here is we can keep it like this. We'll go for a defensive midfielder here. So both of these are not perfect for that duty, but given that we expect the ball to play to the edge of the area, we'll leave it like this, well, one of the two here should collect the ball. This is basically the instruction. Go for the one here, because he's the best goal scorer. Let's see. Do we have anyone that could do this really well? Attacking from the edge of the area. No, we don't. We might have had some. Well, we had Oliver's one previously, but not in the current setup. So this is not a viable option in that sense. We've got nobody that's great going for the edge of the area. I think we'll leave it at short post corners. Okay. So hopefully this doesn't get confused when we go to the attacking formation. Because now all of a sudden... So it keeps the corner takers, this is great. Now we gotta load this. So let's load the other routine. Yeah, that's what I expected. That's what I expected. So we gotta do this separately, and the problem is we gotta name it separately too, because this setup is different from the other one. Now we gotta do it all over again. Great. Okay. Well, it's just a Football Manager thing. Okay, so this is defensive short post corner right. Oh, not short post. This is correct. So I will need to resave all of these. So this is defensive short corner right. I'll also change the naming convention, because this is really annoying that I... Come on. So this is short corner from the right side in the defensive formation. This is a short corner from the left in the defensive formation, so let's name it defensive short corner left. Okay. Now we also need to load the near post corner here and name it appropriately. Defensive formation near post corner left. I think corner is not a useful thing to put down here, but we started it that way, so okay. And now for good measure, I'll delete the rest. Because this will get confusing if I don't, and we don't need them anymore. We got everything saved now. So this is our options now that we got saved. It's not that many, but at least it's appropriate for the formation. Now we will go back to tactics, change that, and do it all over again for positive formation. Great! It only took us half an hour. This will be a fun episode. I will rename this into set pieces at some point, but no, I don't think so. Okay. They still have a routine corner near post left in this formation. This doesn't exist anymore. Great Football Manager, great. So we got a right-footed player that takes the corner for a striker or a defender. This is fine, this is also fine. This all looks great with the exception of this. Oh, why is he supposed to take the kick? This is just, this was wrong. Okay, well, this is not what I want, but so we want him to take a near post corner. We want a defender to attack the near post, we want him to mark the keeper, we want a striker to lurk at the near post, we want him to do something else, we want him to lurk here, attack the far post. Going forward for the Nila Forsell is not a viable option. Taking the ball from the edge of the area might be, or lurking outside the area. Yeah, what do we do on the right side? Oh, we don't know. Attacking the ball from the edge of the area is probably the better idea in this situation. He might get it to the end of a stray ball. He will stay back, and he will come short in this routine. So this is corner, well, this is positive near post corner left. Positive near post corner left. Also, yeah, I'll couple like this. So now we need, now we know that this is the correct corner for the positive formation from the left side, and we should also include a short option, obviously. So same applies as with the defensive formation. It's only that we need to save this separately to keep it keep it in line with the changes of Football Manager. And I realized that we're trying to enjoy here one of the things of the game that needs the most improvement, probably, or it has been for an extended amount of time. But what can we do, right? We gotta deal with the game as it is. This doesn't look that bad, but I want him to lurk it, and this is wrong. Okay, so we want him to attack the near post still. Same here, this is all wrong. Defenders stay back, Corovic can stay back if needed, yeah sure, he will not take the corner from that side though. Oh, no, he will, my bad. He will be the one to cross it in there. So this will be a short corner setup, we already talked about this. Most of the times we want one of the right wingers to dribble inside and maybe find either a shot or the cross. In any case, there's enough options here for him to lurk outside the area is a viable option, and he can attack it. What did we do in defensive formation here? So first of all, let's save this. This is for the positive formation, a short corner right. Okay, so we got that done. What else? Well, let's to make it through the entire episode. Let's go for set pieces, given that we're already here, or maybe defending corners. Sure, let's do defending corners. Even though we might not get to the end of a game at the end of the episode, let's do defending corners. Now that we're already here. So, oh, I can also switch tactics here, by the way. Anyway, defending. I have no idea about this. Did I name it wrong? No, apparently there's already routines for this. Oh, okay. I did these. So I did these in the last season. So this might be a bit easier. Yeah, but this is wrong. Okay, so the defensive midfielder is probably the better one. To mark any player. So, okay. But on the other hand, we expect these two to be fast. This is great. We don't want anyone at the edge of the area, I think. Doesn't matter much. We want them to man-mark players. I don't care if this is a tall or a small player at this point, because I'm not willing... Well, the defensive midfielder is probably the better one to mark a tall player. But he's got jumping reach 11, so it's not like he's really great at it. I just think it's better to man-mark. Corovic is not a great marker. And neither will the other be. But still, if we put him to the edge of the area, he's not much better. He has a decent pass, yes. Okay, let's go for two markers, and the right central midfielder will always be at the edge of the area. He's the one to try to play that pass. He's a Metzala. Even going forward, he should be able to do that. I'll switch that just a second. Asason is the better one for that duty though. Same here. Corovic is really bad. In mentals wise. He's really bad. But the focus should be on defending. We're trying to defend the corner here. So even if this doesn't work, he's got the passing, he's got the aggression and strength, apparently, for some reason. He might develop mentals at one point. These two, I want him to stay forward. They've got the acceleration and the pace. Well, Warwick to a degree, but if Tillander is in this position, this is really threatening. Like, one of the two is also a natural goal scorer. So, yeah, and they will not help much in defense. He's got strength 6, and jumping reach is not that great either. Let's have a look. Okay, it's 11. That's actually decent. But usually the players on the wing should be the fast ones, not the strong ones in our setup. So we'll go about it like this. And this guy, I'm not sure if we need to close down the corner taker. But putting him here doesn't do much. Or does it? No, he marks the near post. Why not? Why not? So let's just congest the penalty area. Alright. This is positive corner defending, right? That's fine. Now we do the same on the left. We do not close him down. He doesn't mark a tall player, but he marks any player. This is correct. This is wrong. Let's redo that though. I'm not aware of if the position on the pitch here influences the real position on the pitch. I have no idea. It might be entirely useless, but there's if you put them on the edge of the area, they get stacked forward. I have no idea if this is meaningful. It doesn't tell us. We don't know. So we save this routine. This is positive corner defending left. Okay, now let's do it for defensive. Yeah, this is entirely different. I'll load the routine here. The thing is, even for defensive, this is correct. I'll still resave this. So I might feel inclined to change that. Oh no, look at it. It's not correct. Okay, it's great that we saved this. So the overall player setup is decent, but this is the wrong players. It mixed it, well, it changed it around. So this is a player mark, this is a player mark. He's the one not to player mark, he's the one to be at the edge of the area. And I will just redo this. So now it's better. Oh, sorry. Oh. So this is defensive corner taking, corner defending left. Now we changed it. And now we gotta do the right side too. Same here, I'll load the other routine. And then change it. So this is a decent setup, but it is wrong. We want him to be here, and I'll just redo him because oh, he's player marking duty. I don't know if this makes a difference. Anyway, this is positive corner defending right. No, it's not. It's defensive corner taking, the corner defending right. I should think before talking, but this is probably not a strong suit of a streamer anyway. So defensive corner defending right. Yeah, it's defending. So I got it all wrong, verbally at least. But with respect to taking him, I probably got it right at this point. Okay, we got this. What's up next? 54 hours into the stream, we might as well make it about set pieces for in entirety, but no, I don't want to. Okay, set piece takers. Who will take the free kicks? Corovic. Azason is a decent free kick taker apparently, but well, he's not. Let's say he's not the primary one to go for. He's got a decent finish, Warwick. And then there's Melander. Right-footed, left-footed, right-footed. Telander's also a moderately capable free kick taker. So we got two free kick takers from the right with a right foot, two free kick takers with a left foot. We can make this work. I think we can be threatening with this. I'll show you how. So from the left side, we go with a right-footed player here for direct free kick. So this is Corovic and Melander for free kicks. So this is direct right. From the right side, and we're in positive formation, I think. Oh, it doesn't account for formation anyway. Yeah, sure. We found it out just yet. So here we will have Warwick as a primary option until Under as a second. Doesn't matter. These two will not be on the pitch at the same time in most of the situations. And if they are in a positive formation, we're really in some sort of weird setup at this point. Okay, this is direct free kicks. So free kicks, we're in defensive formation apparently here, and we want to have direct. We did these at some point, but they might not be appropriate now. So let's I'll delete these, because they will be formation specific anyway, and we will do them all over again right now. So reset it to default. The taker in this situation will be the right midfielder who's got a decent finish. This is a direct free kick, so he can try to shoot. We don't have any instructions for him anyway. But what we do have is instructions for the rest of the squad. 4 will stay back here. I'm not sure if this is appropriate for the defensive midfielder, Esserson. He can do something else too, let's put it that way, but he's better suited to stay back. And this is the defensive formation. So we do not want to concede. This is basically our defenders setup that might stay back. This is okay. The central midfielder to the right doesn't need to. It's just of no use. He's though he's in case of Corovic, same as Melander, he's a decent long shot. He's also got a decent pass. He doesn't have the mentals for it, but he might do. Standing with taker is not a bad option in this situation. Lurking outside the box is not a bad option. Attacking the ball from the edge of the box is bad, so we will go with lurking outside the box. And in any case, he might go for a deflection or something, but lurking outside the box is just his strong suit. This isn't bad for Forsell. The box-to-box will usually be the more physical of the two players. He might attack from the edge of the area. Might also lurk outside the box. It's not great, but it's not really bad. Standing with taker is not a great option for him either. Doesn't matter much. So we will try to include some movement here. I'll try him to attack from the edge of the area. Is there an option out on the wing? No, there isn't. So we cannot, in case of a free kick, we cannot give somebody the instruction to go wide, so that we have a passing option there. This is sad, really. Football Manager should be better at with this. We give him the instruction to go for the far post though, and well, there's no option here. So might as well be the striker to go for the near post. This is a structured way to go about corners. It's not like they are really great at that. Doesn't matter much. We just want somebody at the post to tap him in. And the central defenders will just go forward. Yeah, they will just go forward and try to confuse the opposition. Be a threat in the penalty area, basically. So given that we cannot give instructions to them anyway, there is no options here. So we can simply call this defensive direct free kick. Right. Or defensive direct right. Because free kick, it's clear that it's about free kicks. Okay. And now we do the same to the left. So to the left, a stronger corner take, a stronger free kick taker will do this. Hi Meek. Good morning to you too. At 12:11. So this is PM now, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it counts as morning as a computer scientist, yes. Even though I've been going on about set pieces for an hour now. So I'm moderately awake, let's say. Now, my thought process here was like this. This guy is a former striker. He should be able to finish in this situation. Yeah. So we will have the right winger in this situation. Have the ball attack from the edge of the area. The right central midfielder will always take the corner. For the box-to-box midfielder to lurk outside the area is fine. He might also stand with taker, but I'll leave him here. Because he will shoot anyway in most of these situations. So this is well, it's a clone of the setup on the other side, right? Because we will have them going forward. And the order up front here will not change, because in both situations the right winger will be employed otherwise. So these are all on stay back. This is okay. So this is defensive, direct left. Okay. And in case you're wondering, Mika Billion, we're going about this because we're expected to score a lot from set pieces going forward, and we do not have great takers and so on. So yeah, we need to. So we did direct free kicks for a defensive formation. Might as well do it for the positive formation, right? And this is all over the place again. So is this the default? It's not, but it's close. The taker is correct. This is correct. This is stupid. He can go here. And the rest of it is fine. Wasn't that much work after all, right? Okay. I would not want him to go forward, but I cannot change that here. So this is positive, direct, left. Wonderful. And now we'll do the same on the right side. Let's reset this to default. So on the left side, the corner taker will be, yes. Okay, this is alright. This is Corovic. He should lurk outside the area, if I'm not totally mistaken. This doesn't matter. This is... It's not like I can change it anyway. Okay, so now he's got no instructions. Great. And he's the one to attack from the edge of the area. Is this correct? Yes, it looks correct. Okay, same here. He will go with a mixed one. Well, he will go for the shot, basically, most times. Then we've got somebody at the near post, somebody at the far post, and there will be these two. In case there's a cross, he might go for the cross from time to time, or one of these might go for the long shot, or, well, be at the end of it. We don't know. So we need to save this. This is positive, direct, right. Okay. So we got this done. Now we've got 3 additional of these, and they have variations. Will we go through all of them? Well, we might go for defending first. Yeah, this is the naming conventions off here, because we don't need to include free kick in there. So these two stay forward, these form the wall. That's not the worst setup though. We can deal with that. This is not wrong. Problem is they all need jumping. So we're not trying to block the shot most of the times here. We're trying to be in the area to defend it afterwards. That might not be a good idea, but he's at the edge of the area, so this is fine. They form the wall. Really the wall's all over the place. The wall's basically the trash bin of this setup. Because we put everybody in the wall who is not capable of doing a specific role. These two up front is fine. They got the acceleration and pace, hopefully, to score on the counter. So this is positive defend, direct right. This is okay. Yeah. Let's purge these two words here. Okay. And now on the left side, direct free kick. Again, this looks decent. This is correct. That's okay. So let's save this. Positive defend, direct left. And now for good measure, where's the delete button? It's only in the load menu. Sure. Because I don't want to have this trash laying around in my routines. Okay. Positive defend direct left. Positive defend direct right. If we go to defensive. Now we'll try to load these. This is the wrong one. And you see this is all over it again. So this doesn't... That's not the right one. Okay. So we want the wingers to stay forward. We want him, that's the left defender, to go back. That's alright, that's alright. He should be in the wall. Where's the central midfielder on the right side? There. He should be at the edge of the area. So we will form the wall like this. And you can go back. Okay, great. Don't know if this makes any difference. I also don't want them to play a mark. Because I think their physicals overall are better than their marking. So I just want them in the area and congest the area. This is defensive, defend, direct, right. Defensive, defend, direct, right. Okay. If we go back to positive now, yeah, it kept the routine. Okay. So if we set this up correctly, once in a while, we should be fine. All right. I'll look into this prior to each game now, and you gotta remind me of it every time. This may take forever on stream, but it is how it is. And now we go to the left one too. This is... They're all instructed to player mark. Yeah, they're all instructed to player mark. Okay. We want him forward. We want him forward. We want him to go back. We want him to go back. We want this guy to go back. Do we though? And we want this guy to go back. Why? Because the striker's a tall player. That's alright for me. And we want him to form the wall. We want him to be at the edge of the area. We want him to be part of the wall, and we want him to be part of the wall. No, form wall it is. Okay, so now we've got a 3-man wall here against a direct free kick. Yes, I realize that this is a small one, but I'd rather trust the keeper in the situation. And we can also see this here. He's decent. So hopefully he can avoid most of them. And given that the wall is a bit smaller, he might also see them a bit earlier. So don't know if that matters. So this is defensive, direct, left. Defensive. It's defend. Direct. Left. It might also be that the defense, keyword here, it doesn't matter. It's not like we get the other ones as an option here to load them, but I'd rather not confuse all of this. The direct implies that it's a free kick. Okay, so we're 1 hour and 12 minutes into the stream now. I've had enough of this, but I should probably do the rest of them too. The other free kicks. Maybe it's not that hard though. So we gotta redo them all. We really gotta redo them all. This will take forever. Oh, okay. This is a great part of Football Manager. Wonderful. So in a defensive formation, if we go for indirect free kicks, is there any reason to change any of this? If there is a indirect free kick, if there is a wide free kick or an indirect free kick from, a direct with a small chance of a shot, one of the others basically. Is there any reason to change this? Not for the time being, right? So this is Corovic and Melander. And on the right side it is Warwick and Telander. Melander and Telander. This will not be confusing going forward. For the wide ones, yeah, you see me having fun here already. It's wonderful, right? So this is Warwick here and Telander, and here's Corovic and Melander. And then for the indirect deep, we'll go with the same. So this is not the perfect allocation. For indirect wide, for example, we could go with one of the wingers to take the free kicks, but I'd rather have a midfielder that knows what he's doing in this situation to take the wide one, even though their crossing isn't, that's the wrong position. Great. Even though the crossing isn't that great. Wickberg is entirely wrong. I'm looking for Warwick. Okay, so we got this. Now we gotta set it up for all of these, but I might as well do the long throw takers too. This is a right defender, so he will do it on the right side. Asserson will never take a throw, even though he's got decent long throws, but he's a defensive midfielder, and I don't trust the defensive midfielder to be out of position. Wickberg's a central defender, same argument. Melander's a central midfielder. He might do it, but I think he needs to be at the end of a throw in and not to take it. So I would rather go with bad throw in takers in these situations. And Anderson is a right defender. That's it. Is there somebody else here? Muteba's for the left. So we can already see that the long throws are really bad. For the people we want to take them. Alp is the other one. So we've got Muteba and Alp and, well, Stolt for good measure, in case he ever plays. These are all really bad throw-in takers. We do not have to set up a specific routine for no-go-go here. We want the routine to be as easy as possible on them. That's the concept. So I do not want to go into free kicks right now, so we'll mix this up. I'll do the throw-ins first. I think we did them at some point. There is no defensive setup to speak of for opponents' throw-ins. So let's do this. So this is defensive. Yeah, these are so this is defensive throw right. Okay. Do we want a striker to go forward? All of a sudden our striker has decent ability, decent acceleration and pace, but it might be Kulovic in front. He doesn't. What both do though is have decent defending, especially compared to this guy. So I will defend the center of the area like this with a striker, and he can go here. These two are fast. I want him to stay forward, and this is not okay. I want him to player mark, and I want him to player mark too. But I want the right one to stay at the edge of the area to play that dangerous pass. So now we have two guys who player mark. We've got a lot of people here in the right setup to be in the back. And basically this is more or less how our formation would look anyway, but the striker comes back. That's all of it. So this is defend, throw, right. No, this is defensive, defend, throw, right, whatever. And now let's do the same for the left. Striker goes back. These two are great. This is nonsense. They go to the wings. We do not want anyone at the post. This is okay. He can man mark or player mark. He can player mark. He goes forward. He goes forward. And he's at the edge of the area. This is great. So this is defensive, defend, throw, left. At this point, I could probably rename this this video doing set pieces with Ytterhogdals IK. So this is not about the incapable squad. This is entirely about set pieces, and at this point, I should also do chapter marks going forward on YouTube. So now I want to do this in entirety. I'll just just drop a message to my girlfriend about this. Because well, we got plans. Okay. But the plan now is to do the rest of the set pieces and then go for one match, okay? So, yeah, that's the plan for today. And afterwards I will go for food. Okay, we've got this set up. This is good. Now we need it for positive. Let's load the other routine. This is wrong, but it's only wrong in... Yeah, player mark is okay. You can also player mark. Honestly, I don't care much about player marking or going back in this situation. They're bad at either. And he should stay forward, whilst he should be on the edge of the area. So this is decent. Now we've got this. This is positive. Defend, throw left. Great, it marks it all. Positive defend, throw left. And now let's do it on the right side. I'll also load the defensive routine here. So this is wrong now. He should go back and player mark. He should stay up front. And he should be at the edge of the area. And that's it. So let's save this. This is positive, if I can read it correctly. Positive, defend, throw right. So now we've got a defending of the throws done. What's next? Well, next stuff to do is attacking throws. So let's do this. This is always a bad taker. Always. We've got a lot of players lurking outside the area, this won't work. So he's the one to cross it to a decent degree. Those in the penalty area is fine. I do not want anyone to stay back if needed, because if needed is a condition that I am not fond of. I'd rather have him stay back all the time and not concede. Given that it's always the right player to take the throw. So this is positive though. In positive formation, this is a register. It's not a ball winning midfielder. So in positive formation, he's someone to come short, in my book, because he's a passer. In positive formation, I don't want him out of position. I want him to come short though. He's a passing option. So these two are passing options, they should come short. On the other hand, this guy has a decent long shot, I think. Yeah, and coming short, he cannot take a long shot. So this is a bit weird. We want the left player to come short. He can play a possession pass towards a long shot taker, or might go for the cross. Doesn't matter much. Him on the other hand, he's not a good crosser, better passer, dribbler and technique, but his long shot would be wasted. He can still play another pass from lurking outside the area. We do not want anyone to... No. I don't know. Marking the keeper. His finishing is real bad anyway. Yeah. So penalty area is not too full in this situation. We could, given that this is positive. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We can push the central defenders forward, both of them. So this is really dangerous, but we are vulnerable to scoring on the counter. But this is a positive formation. We want to score at some point, and this might give us options to score. So he's the only one left to defend. And if this doesn't go down well, we obviously need to change it at some point. So this is positive. Throw is always short. Positive short, throw right. And on the left side, we will go for similar setup. Push these forward. Leave the striker here. Put him here. Nina for Cell is the one to lurk outside the area. And the other two come short. This will look differently in defensive formation, obviously. So this is positive short throw left. Alright, got it. So let's do defensive too. So this is defensive short throw left. Much of the setup remains the same, but the defenders go back. He can stay back. He can come short. He can lurk outside the area. This is fine. And Corovic can... No, it's the other way around. It's like this, right? He comes short. He comes short. Well, there's Assassin here, but... oh no. This is... He has to remain up back. So it's a bit weird. Well, I got confused here. This is a defensive midfielder in this situation. This is the defensive formation, so the defensive midfielder is really a ball-winning midfielder. He's not a register anymore. There's no register on the pitch. So we only have less options here. The defenders need to stay back. I don't want to concede, so I might as well go with 4 defenders. Doesn't matter. The primary focus in this formation is not to concede. So there's only Nila Forsell coming short, and Corovic lurking outside the area. This might result in us losing some of the throws, so I don't want it. Don't want to have this. So Assassin is some moderately decent passer. The defensive midfielder in general should be a moderately decent passer. We can leave him back though. Nah, it's not an option either. I'd rather lose out on the throw. We can do something like this. So the winger comes short. He attacks the near post. And he attacks the far post, and there's nobody with the keeper. So in this situation now, the wingers should have decent passing. It's not great, but he should also have a chance to go for the cross. He should have a chance to go for the dribble. And now he's got 2 crossing options and a passing option. Same for the central midfielder. So this is not loaded in the penalty area, but it doesn't matter. But we do not need 4 people in the back, right? So let's have the 1 central defender up front to be threatening, even in defensive setup. So this is defensive short throw left. He takes a short throw, yes. Defensive short throw left. And to the right, we will do something similar. So he stays back. He stays back, he stays back, this is fine. He comes short, this is great. He lurks outside the area because he's got a decent long shot. And he comes short for another pass, in case it happens. He is at the far post, he is at the near post, the striker, and he marks keeper. Perfect. If you know it all by heart, it's not that hard to set up. But so this is defensive short throw right. Okay. Now I think we got it all set up. Did I forget something? What about defending? First of all, I gotta delete what's these can be deleted. Okay, and defending wise, this looks decent. Yeah, we got it all set up. Okay, now there's only so many set pieces left. This is quite exhausting, to be honest. This doesn't look like much probably, but doing this all in one session. This is quite exhausting and requires some amount of concentration. Okay. So now we've got a direct free kick with a small chance of a shot. So we'll do the defensive side once more. Here. Yeah. and we cannot load the others. This is so we got to do it all over again. So this is defensive. Also great naming. Defensive, direct, small chance. I'll abbreviate this, DSC or something. So this is defensive, DSC, left. I want him to go back. They're just instructed to go back, right? Okay. These should stay forward, whatever. And he's not a great jumper. Well, actually. So with small chances, apparently there is no zonal marking, but we can go for zonal marking in entirety here. Have him man mark again. Oh yeah, there's a wall. So alright, let them form the wall. Is there somebody missing? No, apparently that's all of it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's all of them. Okay. It also happened to me that a player was missing from the user interface altogether. So this stuff happens. But maybe I was stupid at that time. Anyway, this is defensive, DSC, left. And now we'll do the right side. Striker goes back because he's tall. They form the wall and they stay forward. This is defensive DSC right. And please remain in the wall. I'm not sure why there's even a check mark here. DSC right. Positive. There's no difference for us. I'm not sure if this is a good idea to mark this zonally, by the way. This might be a bad idea for defending free kicks with a small chance of a shot. I don't know. So in case you're aware of well, football tactics and in this situation, please let me know, because I'm certainly not. So this is positive DSC right. I don't know, for example, if zonal marking or not zonal marking is the better choice to go with, depending on the player material. Yes, I realize that there are differences, but I'm not 100% aware of the differences and how to set this up. So, yeah. I can definitely use some help there. He should go forward, he should be in the center, he should be to the left, he should go forward, and this is the wall. Let's save this as positive DSC left. So we got this. Now we need direct small chance of a shot in attacking situations in both formations. So there's a small chance of a shot. Small chance of a shot from the right side means that there's a chance. From the right side, this is the free kick taker will be Corovic. So he's instructed to take it short. Right now, this is stupid. But we cannot instruct him to shoot every time, apparently. So he's instructed to either take the shot or do something else. Yeah, okay. So my thought process here, if we go for a long one, This might give us some pace, but I don't think this will happen too much. Near post, I mean, we can try to deliver to some area. We can try to go for the best header. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go for the best header. Because we got some really decent headers in our squad. That's a part of it. It always has been. So we've got 3 of these. They can be here. This is enough for defending. Our defensive midfielder in the positive formation is somebody not to attack the ball but to lurk outside the area. This will be somebody with a decent long shot in this situation, not Asarson but a Register. And here we've got somebody else to lurk outside the area, so this should work. Okay. So this is positive DSC left. Yes. And we go for the header. This is our option here. So okay, got this. Next one, positive. Well, in a defensive setup, what would we change? In a defensive setup, the DM goes back because he's incapable to contribute, right? That's all there is to it. So let's do this. Oh no, I got confused. This is the right one. So this is great. This is already how it should look. He goes forward because he's a decent header, and that's it. Not much else to do. Defensive. DSC. Defensive. DSC. And it's a header DSC. DSC left. Alright. Huh. So I don't. You probably didn't get this, but there's noises from the kitchen for like the last 15 minutes, and my girlfriend just told me she made I don't know how they call it, breadcrumbs, I guess, for baking and or for cooking and stuff. You know, when you take the old bread and put it into some sort of mixer, and yeah. Okay, that's great. So this is a no, you probably won't, because this is all the way through a closed door, so I can hear it clearly here. But I use this is a standard Blue Yeti, and it's a directional microphone, so it shouldn't pick up anything. Well, it will pick up the table, I think. You might hear this. Give me a second. This the squeaking of the table. You might pick up, because it's on the table. But the other stuff you shouldn't pick up. It doesn't even pick up if somebody else speaks in the room, if it's down the room. So yeah, hopefully that's not too bad. I had a listen into my own streaming from time to time, and there's not much noise in there from around. So if that changes at any time, let me know. Right. Okay. Where was I? I'm on a budget here. Time-wise, so I really want to do one game at least, and I've got like 50 minutes left at most, so because I gotta eat at some point, and I really don't want to strain my relationship too much, but on the other hand I want to finish this with one game. Okay, the problem here is they're going short, right? Oh, we're in defensive formation. Okay. This is... Where was I? We had positive header DSC left. So now we need the right side to go for the header. Great way to spell defensive, by the way. But okay. Shit. Gotta resave this. No. This is... still Corovic. They should go for the header though. He lurks outside the area. All of this is fine in the defensive formation. So this is defensive header DSC left. Yes. So just gotta correct the spelling. Defensive header DSC left. I didn't instruct him to go for the header though. I just saved it. Okay. Let's remove the rest of this stuff. This can be deleted now. This can be deleted, and this can be deleted. So defensive header DSC left, positive header DSC left, so we might need the right ones, right? So in the right formation, the setup with the right ones. The right midfielder will take the free kick, yeah, that's true. There is no instruction here for them to lurk somebody. And it doesn't make much sense to attack the posts in this situation. He will not go for a short one. He will still go for the best header, Warwick, with his free kick. Him lurking outside the area is fine. This doesn't make much sense. He might lurk outside the area too. So 2 lurkers, 3 going forward. In defensive formation, this makes sense. The setup, they stay back. So this is defensive DSC header right. Defensive header DSC right, okay. Header DSC right. And now we gotta do the left one. No, we don't. We need to do the positive one. The positive one is what's missing. Same here. He is not the one to attack the... whatever. This is so weird. This stuff here. To be perfectly fair, I'm not sure how to improve it though. The defensive midfielder doesn't contribute much. He needs to stay back. He needs to lurk. He needs to lurk outside the area, yeah. And same does he. The 2 midfielders should lurk outside the area and he should go for the best header. That's what we're doing. So this is positive DSC, positive header DSC right. Positive header DSC right. Save this. Great. Next. So, on the defensive side, we got them all, right? Yes. Okay. Next. Indirect wide. Defensive side. Yeah, I gotta change a few things here. So indirect free kick from wide positions usually means that we will face a cross. Facing a cross, I think we definitely need to defend the air. And this means that the striker goes back. Doesn't matter if positive or defensive, the striker goes back. These 2 are of no use in the back, generally speaking, so I will always have them go forward. Now, the players on the wings are not great headers. But on the other hand, out on the wings, they might be able to pick up something. So this is okay with me. And we will change it like this, so that the defensive midfielder is in the penalty area too. He's just instructed to go back though. I don't know, we might... that's still him to play a mark. Doesn't matter much. In all honesty, I'm not aware who he will mark. If he's not specifically instructed to mark anyone, he will probably just go back, and that's it. If he's instructed to mark anyone, maybe he will mark the player wherever he is on the pitch, but doesn't matter now. Two-man man wall in this situation is okay. So this is positive, white, right. Because we don't need to include that it's defending, I think, because Football Manager filters it for you. So left side we do the same. Striker goes back, central defender goes here, other central defender goes here, he goes here, he goes here. The defensive midfielder goes here. Player marks. He forms the wall, he's up front, and he forms the wall with him. This is positive, wide, left. Now let's do the attacking side. No, we gotta do the defensive ones first, right? Yeah, same stuff here. So even in the defensive formation, there's not much change with this, because the two players up front will need to remain up front. We want to score on the counter, even in the defensive formation, and he's still the one to player mark here. Okay, so this is defensive, wide, left. Stick with me, we will get through this. We will endure it together. At this point, it's just masochistic, right? You're watching this because you enjoy seeing me suffer. That's it. I'm suffering, and you can have your fun with it. Glad to be of service. I don't know how to improve this though. From a game design perspective, it's really I mean. Yes, the interface could be improved from time to time, but it feels like this fiddly is how it should be, to a degree. So I'm not aware of what to change here. Okay, this is how we want to do it, I guess. Where's the defensive midfielder? Here he is. He should not go back, but man mark. Should player mark. He should no, that's wrong, by the way. He should go back. Defensive midfielder should player mark. He should go forward, and he helps to form the wall. Here we go. This was easy. Defensive wide right. Wide. Imagine if we would still have your overload tactic, make a billion. Then I would do 3 of those. So luckily we got rid of that. Just in time. Hopefully we don't need it going forward. Okay, so wide formation. Wide free kick. Now this will be a bit easier, I think. Especially because this is already set up and this looks great. Yes, this is exactly how I want it to be. Well, not entirely. So, I do not want him to go short. I want him to go for the best header in this situation. 2 lurkers, they go forward. Well, they can attack one can attack the near post. Yeah, this is more or less how I want it to be. So this is a defensive wide. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. This is defensive header, right, right. Alright. And now it's to the left one. So the corner taker is correct, the free kick taker is correct, we go for the best header. The right one is instructed to just go forward, the left one is instructed to attack the near post. Oh, we've got a problem here, yeah. This is a bit different. This can remain that way though. And he lurks outside the area. And we've still got 3 players in the back, so this is great. It will probably not pay off in the next game. Header. Wide left. And then we've got a positive to do. And positive is exactly the same problem. We need to go for the best header. This is decent. This is also decent. He will not lurk outside the area but remain back. I mean, we could, in a positive formation, this is somebody to lurk outside the area. True. So these are all the midfielders in a positive formation are lurkers. Why is that? Well, it's either the box-to-box midfielder and the register, and both should have a decent long shot. So that's what we're going for here. So the routine is different. Positive header wide left. Yes. And now we do it for the right side. For the right side, it's the winger that goes for the cross. So this is stupid. Please go up here. He can be here. He can go forward. This is okay. This is positive, so they can lurk outside the area. And now this is getting a little congested, I'd say. But we'll have 3 players lurking outside the area. That's a bit bad, but, well. Somebody could stand with Taker, though. But it doesn't matter much, he doesn't go for the short ones, so... Save routine. Positive. Header. Wide right. This is only one routine for like every situation. We're doing the bare minimum here, right? So it took us nearly 2 hours now to do the bare minimum. And we've got still one thing to do, indirect from deep. But now you can vary this and save them all too, to go for short ones and to load specific setups in game. Yes, but it really is, right? Because we can instruct him to do something different here. Like, go for the short ones, but for the short ones we want another setup. So, like, in the same situation, different setup, we want to vary this. And depending on who we're facing, it might be viable to have different options here. So I'm doing the bare minimum, yes. I also hate it. From the bottom of my heart, I hate it. Just like I hate Oliver Swan's complaints about his position in the squad for basically the entire stream until we sold him. But, yeah. That's how it is. And we're expected to do this, so let's do this. Okay. Defensive side first, right? For, we've got 1 free kick scenario to cover. And then we're done with it. So we are defending a deep free kick. I feel inclined to say fuck this, let's go with this, but no, let's not do that. Because he needs his day back. Yeah, we'll suddenly mark again, okay? Thank you very much. This was not the plan. Well, let me put it like this. If this would have been the plan, I would have warned you in the stream information. So yeah, I will probably rename this for YouTube, because at this point this is a set pieces set pieces tutorial at this point. I think, and for somebody interested in set pieces, it might contain worthwhile information at this point. So I will try to keep this as short as possible, and go with chapter marks for YouTube. But why can't he go back? Oh, he's already back. So from deep, there is no wall. All right. So they all go back. I'll just change it around. Cool. This user interface is great. So we instruct them all to go back. Doesn't make much sense to mark anyone. But yeah. So this is how we defend. So positive, deep, right. All right, let's do positive, deep, left. And this might not even work that well, but at least we're trying. He goes back, he stays forward, he stays forward. I don't think the positions here matter, so it's just the way they are put down here. Not sure about the check marks either. Okay. So this is positive deep left. To be fair, to endure some of the Bundesliga matches or to endure this kind of setup for set pieces, I think it's not much of a difference lately. So yeah. Maybe you're better being around here. Well, I don't know when your league plays. And all the leagues you're watching, let's put it like that. I think there's a lot of football for the remainder of Sunday coming on. So yeah, this is the perfect introduction into real football. Swedish Cup. Okay. Well, in that sense, that's actually quite exciting. But you've got these group stages and so on. You don't watch that, yeah. It's the same for me with once international games come up. I'm like, I don't watch that shit. Don't annoy me with international games. Get away. This is not real football. They don't play with each other for an entire season. So this doesn't matter to me. Yeah, on the other hand, this can be really fun. Like Bayern Munich got kicked out of second league teams from time to time in the German club, in the German Cup. It doesn't happen often, but I think it was Holstein Kiel, the last ones, if I recall it correctly. By the way, with a set piece, with a throw in, they got kicked out of it. With a set piece at the end of I don't know when it was, at the end of the 120 minutes. So it was like a set piece, last ditch effort. And well, I don't bet on. Well, I invest my money, so I don't bet on football matches. But anyway, a set piece allowed Holstein Kiel to score in that situation. I remember that one very fondly. They threw it in, and somebody did a flick on at the edge of the penalty area, and it was headed in by somebody in the penalty area. It was wonderful. Also, Bayern Munich looked really, really, really stupid in that situation, so I enjoyed that that one very much. It was really great, but it's been a few years at this point. Yeah, that can happen. So do set up your set pieces, because it might happen to you in Football Manager. I should do advertisements at some point. Anyway, okay, so we got that done. Now we need defensive, and we do it all over again. We'll get through this together. We'll get through this. The striker goes back because he's a tall guy and might help defending. They stay forward because we need them to run for it. And they all go back. This is fine. I don't know if we need to check marks, but whatever. Let's do it. And this is defensive, deep left. By the way, in case it's not obvious, in defensive formation we might also instruct everybody to go back because we really don't want to concede or something like this. But for me, positive as well as defensive, I don't want to vary it too much. I might change my mind on this throughout the season. But I will probably forget about set pieces at that point. So it's probably worthwhile to set it up at the start of the season, right? Okay, and then we need the right side too. We got like 90% done now of what I just call the bare minimum. So yeah. Okay, we got this. They go forward because they should be fast in a defensive formation. They can all stay back. I will check these marks just because I can. Not sure if it's worthwhile. Thank you, Football Manager, for making this entirely clear to me. And then we've got a defensive deep right. So, last sample. We need to do attacking from deep. So this is close to the middle line or something. Somebody takes it free kick. What do we want them to do with it? Well, in case it's the one on the right, this is one of our wingers. So Puget might attack the far post, that's okay. These two go forward because they are good headers, and the striker might attack this one. They can lurk outside the area. This is the defensive formation, so this is a ball-winning midfielder, and they can all stay back. Edge of the area, no, I don't think so. Let's lurk here. He doesn't go for short though, he goes for the best header, because we have decent headers. We want to, well, abuse them. Their heading capability. So this is deep. This is not wide, this is deep. I don't know why this is called wide, this is stupid. So and this is positive. No, it's not positive, it's defensive, right? It's defensive, okay. Sorry, gotta do it all over again. Defensive header deep right. So this is a long, and this cross will be in the air for a long time, and it might go and hit the head of either our central defenders or the striker, or it might flick. It might be a flick on for the white player. The two outside here might go for deflections, so with a long shot or with a pass or whatever, and they will defend because we're in a defensive formation, and they are all defensively capable, I'd say. Defensive header deep right. Now we gotta do defensive header deep left. Similar setup, but a bit different. These two go for the posts. He will go for the edge of the area. This is fine because as a striker he's able to muscle through. It's just the way our strikers are, to be capable of muscling through. He can lurk, just like most of my viewers here, and he can go for the header. Okay, that should be it. So this is, now we'll go for the same naming conventions. Defensive header deep left. We got this done. Now we need the positive ones. And the positive ones, we might desperately need to score, but on the other hand, we still want to defend. The major difference is that we have a Regista here, so he can lurk outside the box. He's not capable of playing Regista, but we would have one. Corovic with the free kick is okay, and the rest is this is good. That's by accident, but this is good. So we will save this. This is positive header deep left. Now let's do the right side too. He should go for the best header. He's okay to lurk. he can attack the near post in this situation, and somebody else can, well, no. We will have, I think we'll have 3 lurkers in this situation. Yeah. It's great. So they still go for the best header, but in this situation there's a lot of people lurking outside the area. They might penetrate the area, they might just go for the pass, so we might retain possession of the ball, hopefully. That's not unreasonable. Positive header deep right. This is a weird naming. Positive header deep right. Okay, we got this. Sorry, I was annoyed about the unresponsiveness of the menu for a second. So, yeah. Now we got these. And this can go. So now we got it all. And I just need to check these prior to the match. So it's been 2 hours and 5 minutes, and we got everything set up for every tactic. Can we make it to a match in the next 25 minutes? Well, through a match against Lunds BK. So let's talk the match. This is the first match of the season. We are not the better team, I think, with any of the games going forward. And so, especially for the away game, I'm willing to go with parking the bus and hoping for the best. Okay, let's do this. Nogogo signed a new contract. This is great. Now he's on 15 euros a week. And Puget also signed a new contract. You might remember that we didn't get a fee of 16k for him just because he didn't want to sign a new contract with somebody else. He was unhappy with the contract they offered him. But, I mean, they offered 16k for him, but not a contract that was viable. Now he plays for 15 euros per week for us. I have no idea what's going on with that, and I really don't care. We extended his contract. This is great. So we will play a defensive formation. Set pieces should be loaded at this point. We'll look into the setup, but we might set this as a primary train tactic for the time being, and hope that they are somewhat familiar with it once the match comes up. I talked a lot, by the way, and didn't get to drink that much, so enjoy your water. It feels I feel kind of a relief to have done this at some point, even if it doesn't work out. Like, we will score 3 goals after set pieces and defend none because it's really bad. But at least I tried to do it. So this is what I got going for me now. On the other hand, so. I think it was Splitbiff that told me that our new striker with the 5 points of finishing needs to score 30 goals. Yeah, sure, yes, but not today. Like, I'll be back to streaming tomorrow 9:30, but today we'll make this one game, and I don't think I'll do another stream today. Actually, I think I might watch my own stream and tag it with timestamps, because this is perfect for a YouTube video to be tagged with timestamps for different setups, and well, I did not go into detail about all of it, but I think I can do it in this case. So that'll be night shop for the rest of the day. Yeah, Menanda puts in very good performances as a defensive midfielder, so now he's accomplished. This is great. Ekman doesn't like the high amount of extra training. Why? Okay. So let's take him off some of it. And we want him to do the killer board, so this is fine. This is youth team. What are they unhappy about? He's unhappy about the higher amount of extra training. He hasn't been training much. Sorry, sir, but you didn't do much. So we'll train him as a shadow striker anyway. He might learn another position at this point. Because we don't have a shadow striker in the formation currently. Yes, we might go in with a Mika Billion formation. Or I'm not sure if it was yours. The one with the with the two shadow strikers. Maybe it was kumquats. Sorry, I'm really. That's you. Okay. So this is really confusing. Like if you don't have the people around every single day, you aggregate them into time intervals more than into individual people. So it's not about me being not, I don't know, receptive to this, but you remember I think these people came at the same time, and we had a debate about this tactics and that stuff that back then, and then you find it in the back of your head like this. So it's not like active trying to remember. It's just all mixed up there. So it's not me being unfriendly or not caring. I care a lot about it. It's just a lot to remember it all. Okay, yeah, he can train like that, and then, yes, I realize he should improve on his quickness, but he doesn't want to train hard, so might as well keep it like this. He's on inverted finger, training like that. He wants more strength training. Then do more strength training, and don't... Yeah, okay. So... He's unhappy either way. Doesn't matter. In that situation, I don't care about it. And then there's Ty Coakley. What about Ty Coakley? Well, he doesn't think it will improve his game. Okay, I can deal with that. So in that case, go with attacking movement, please. Yeah, that's better. As a hopefully future register. Actually, I think it's not that bad. It's only that he's missing the capability to play the position. But overall, we might get something out of him at some point as a register. This is perfect. So we're going for an away game. We went with defensive positioning and teamwork for this, not with set pieces. That might change going forward. Because I hope we went with defensive positioning. Can we still change it though? By the way, no, it's too late. Oh, we went with team bonding. I don't have an opinion on it. Much. Other than being really proud of SC Freiburg for a number of years. So yeah, this is so for somebody. If you're trying to get me into making recommendations for a bet, I'm not a financial advisor and certainly not one to advise on betting. Other than do not bet. Invest it, right? Invest it in a proper manner. And if you are not aware of how to invest your money, well, I might recommend a few YouTube channels that are by professionals. So I'd rather recommend Benjamin Felix and Common Sense Investing at this point. But really, I think both will score, yes. Leverkusen and Freiburg are both teams perfectly capable of scoring. I'd say traditionally Freiburg is one that's more inclined to defend well than Leverkusen. Sorry, Leverkusen fans. And this is also, to talk about Freiburg is always a bit weird to me, because I was born and raised in Stuttgart. So this is not that far off. It's both in Baden-Württemberg. Yes, but that's the thing that's weird to me. So SC Freiburg lost their local rival status towards Stuttgart to a degree to another club in Karlsruhe. Like, so it's not like they are no longer rivals of Stuttgart. It's more like they are rivals that we respect very, very much. Like, for how they did. Especially because in Stuttgart we are absolutely unable to get that done for more than 2 years. And those 2.5 or 3 years were the Sven Mislintat area. And now it goes all down the drain again. Because, well, due to the director of football. Alexander Werle, by the way. Great choice to employ him. Now Sven Mislintat and Rino Matarazzo are gone, and I really would have preferred to go with them into the second league. So, yeah, that's me. Doesn't matter to me. I would have loved to keep good personnel at the club. Extreme 17. Doesn't matter to me. 15 minutes until my 2.5 hour mark to the stream, so let's go through the press conference and then go to the game. Yes, I agree. We do not have what it takes to stay up. Let's go for a third place again. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I don't know if my DAZN abo still if my well, so I got a how is it called? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if DAZN covers that in Germany. It should still run my subscription to DAZN, but they increased prices to 300 euros a year, so I cancelled that. I will not be able to look into international games going forward. Yeah. At least not if I don't go for, I don't know, some sort of bar or something to do that. Yeah, really. So, and same here. I'd rather invest that money because I don't get that much joy out of it, right? I'd rather put it into an ETF portfolio at this point. It will serve me more going forward. I can play Football Manager all day. Doesn't matter. I will not recommend that on stream, because this will get uploaded to YouTube. But I am certainly fond of some memes that came out of this, and I can see the reasoning behind it. This is to the detriment of the companies, really. At some point, if they increase prices too much, they lose their paying customers. I was a paying customer, and it's too expensive for me going forward, so I will not do that. That's it. So there's an inflection point, and I feel the inflection point has been passed for me. That's it. I'm not willing to do that. And the same goes for Sky in Germany, by the way. I will not do that. With also it's loaded. Sky in addition is also loaded with advertisements. If it's already pay TV, I do not want ads. So that's bottom line for me. I do not want ads. I'd rather let me put it that way. I'd rather have halftime with nothing in halftime than a look on the pitch, no commentator, nothing at all, no effort. I just want to watch the damn match, right? I don't care about commentators, ads, anything beyond the match. I just want the match. Give me that. And I'll pay an appropriate amount of money and not suffer the ads. But this product doesn't exist. Well, it did exist on DAZN once they entered the German market, because a lot of the matches were not commented, so they just threw them on the platform. No commentator, some random match around the world. It was really enjoyable to watch. Really. It was really great. That's the product I'm looking for. But apparently that doesn't exist. It's sometimes I mute football matches just because the commentators are so annoying. I just want to watch the match. Without a commentator. And without anything on top. To be fair, the zone commentators in Germany were... They were not personnel to suffer through. I cannot say the same for Sky commentators. Here. Okay, let's go through this. Now I've been ranting and rambling, and I don't have that much time. So we don't have what it takes to stay up. Can we go off for a winning start? Yeah, so I never watched UFC, so I don't know. But I guess especially in Sweden, from what I've heard so far, you would be willing to go with the English ones, right? So yeah, should be an option. This is an opportunity, by the way, for product wise. Well, not an opportunity in that sense. This should be the default. The default should be to enable or disable commentators, depending on preference, and keep the rest on. Because I would love to hear the fans in a football match, and also the rest. But commentators I would want to toggle, and yeah, doesn't exist. I don't know why it doesn't exist at this point. This is like we're 20 years late with this, really, or 30. But on the other hand, I mean, people still use a TV, and you don't get matches on TV or on stream. You cannot stream certain matches because there's just no way to do it, or you're forced to install an app or whatever, right? I'm going on another rant here, but I really hate this. Just give me a damn streaming service with no additional software. There's the internet, we got a browser. We can deal with that. I don't care about your damn digital rights management. I don't want it. Give us competitive prices and let us move on. It will ruin the industry anyway, if you don't. We had this with music 20 years ago or 30. You're trying to do it all over again. It will end up in the same result. At the end, technique will win. People will not overpay for stuff. At least not for an extended period of time. At some point they realize. And then we get back to what you mentioned earlier. At one point. And then there's the big outcry and criminalization and so on and so forth. This all could have been avoided. But it doesn't happen. So we'll go through the motions all over again. It might take another 20 years. Can we get off to a winning start? We're working hard in training. We're always working hard in training. Anderson is already an influential player, apparently. So, yes, we will live and die by his performances because he is a really bad player. No, he's not one for the first team. This is one of the English guys. Well, he's actually Greek, but he's got English second nationality. We signed him from England, and I think he's a viable defensive midfielder at some point. Yeah, also he's got spirited personality. Do you think it's important for the club to continue their impressive record of winning on many of the more recent opening days of the season? Yes, but it's not about on the opening days or anywhere. We need to win, we need to stay up. This is the best. Football Manager is the best. So Adam Blakeman was a trialist. He was on trial with us and he retired whilst he was on trial. So this is not one of our players in that sense. He was one of our players because he retired whilst he was on trial. So now we get asked about his entire retirement. Yeah, we will miss him, sure. A lot. Hugo Bergman, so in case you didn't get that, he was the leader of a revolt. There might have been snowball matches included in that. So if you didn't see it, it might be worth checking out the like 10-hour stream on YouTube. It was really, it dragged on. Like his departure and riling out the squad against me, I did not enjoy that. He was not a professional. In short, we were forced to sell 3 key players. Torbjörn, that was our 20-year-old central midfielder, who was unwilling to renegotiate a deal. He was unhappy about the lack of training facilities. Ian Holmström, our absolutely superior best striker with 20 goals in the season, 21 I think was his last one. We needed to sell him because he was unhappy about the lack of training facilities. And Ole was one because he was unhappy about the lack of training facilities. Who was, by the way, club captain, and has been unhappy for the entirety of the last season. So I sold all 3 of them. Ole was one was really hard to sell. He didn't want to go to a club appropriate for him. So we sold them all 3 of them. And we got really decent money for 2 of them. Like Al Holmström as well as... Al Holmström not so much, but especially Torbjörn. We got 15k for him, I think. And overall we made, with all the player sales, and without the 50% clauses that are in place too, we made about 40k. So we just need a Warhammer to be complete at this point. But the 40k euros, that was really decent money, right? And so for comparison, I won't jump into the menu, but for comparison, 40k is our entire sponsorship income plus the entire season tickets, and then some. So that's a lot of money. We need about 160 to improve training facilities. So it's it's not a drop in the bucket anymore. We're going somewhere. And there's a lot of 50% clauses in place too. So financially, this club is doing well. Really well. But Hugo Bergman was a pain in the... afterwards. Because he complained that we shouldn't have sold Al Holmström. And I was absolutely unwilling to make a promise because there is no striker that is willing to sign for us on the level of Ian Al Holmström. So I didn't. And then the entire squad came around. Now it was like 14 players. So he rallied up 13 guys of the squad, and we had a meeting about this. And some of the professional ones accepted the money reasonings, but it was like 9 players afterwards that agreed with Bergman. And I just started weeding through them, and some of them got to reason, and some of them lost interest in the issue once Bergman was sold. But it was really hard to sell him. And the after story to this is that we got an offer for Puget. That's the Norwegian, the former 17-year-old guy. With really great potential that we signed for the left wing. The after story is that we got another offer for him, that was accepted by the chairman, for I think overall 15.5k or 16k or something, with initial money and clauses. So we didn't have a choice. So all of a sudden, we might have been down to 1 player on the left wing. We got 4 there, right? So to Ytterhogdals, which is somewhat susceptible to injury on the left wing, and to Skilermo as an emergency backup out there. So we might have needed to sign someone all of a sudden out there, but for 15.5k or something, Puget didn't want to go to the club because they were unable to offer him a decent contract. And we renegotiated his €9 per week deal afterwards and signed him for another year, I think, on €15 per week. So I cannot imagine it can have been about the wage. But we missed out on those 15k for now. 15k for now. Otherwise, we would have had a third of the training center. Okay, so match press conference, and then we go through the match, and hopefully my girlfriend will not hang me from the ceiling for doing too much here. But I want to go through the match. Yeah. Yeah, happy to do that. Not a problem. Jörg Pedersen, he's a good guy. Who is it? No. We can generally stay in the first division with 35 points. Yes, that's the target. Yes. Do you know your strongest team? I have a rough idea. Passing style. How we do rate our chances? Well, we finished third 2 seasons. Is there a team that you consider to be favorite to be relegated? Yes, us. Always us. Or is Stockholm in the division? No. We are favorites. So just travel prior to that. Great. Really great. Four messages. Discussion of relegation battle. We need to go through training anyway. Yes it does. Yes it does. This is part of it. Travel expenses are somewhere in here, yes. And I think we might have changed the league. I would need to go back. I think we were First Division South at some point. I have... So, you're Swedish, right? So, I confused that with Kumquat at some time. But you're aware of the position of Ytterhogdal on the map. That doesn't look like North Sweden to me. But the thing is, I think the leagues get reconstructed depending on who's in the league. So if I got that right. So to aggregate the clubs closer to each other. So the South League might contain a lot of southern, like more southern clubs at this point. So they have really low travel expenses. But for us, this is a shot in the foot, basically. Or a nail in the foot or whatever, because now we have big travel expenses just to play the league. So everybody expects us to get defeated. Yeah, great. We will not play the team they expect us to play, probably. Warwick will not play here. We'll go with Tillander here. Yeah, see, there. What about the rest? So this is more or less our standard setup. So I can live with that. But I will adapt it with respect to training. He did well. I don't want to leave out the captain though. But for the bench this is okay. So Ngogo goes for the bench. Hagedal. Did I write my girlfriend? No, not didn't I? Sorry. I wanted to inform her. No, I didn't. Okay, I'll tell her that we'll do the match. I'm also one who's really fast at typing on a phone, so yeah, sorry about that. Most of them got praised recently. This is okay. Okay. So, we're on match day. Gotta talk to some... Well, we could talk to some of the players about their conduct to improve morale. Let's do that. And then go to the match. So... Yeah, we should avoid the relegation. That's the expectancy. It doesn't matter much about match with the last, with the next things here. They all extend their contract with a clause. That's fine. And our man is now homegrown. Who's our man? Oh, he's one of the fickle ones. Okay. Yeah, that's fine by me. Okay. Goalkeepers. Westberg will definitely be on the bench. Da Silva didn't train as well as Ngogo, so Ngogo can go on the bench in this situation. We might loan him out going forward, not sure. We need a central defender. It's either Bordegaard, Blom or Wickberg. Bordegaard Blom is on a 6.8, Wickberg is on a 7.15, so Bordegaard Blom can remain at home or go into the stands. Stolt or Alp, that's not a discussion. For us it's Alp, I think. We want him as a replacement on the bench. And then for midfield, so in case we switch things up, we want Ekman on the bench to be able to contribute there. And, well, offensively, so we want somebody being able to, with the capability to play on both wings, and we want a replacement striker. Given that we started with a defensive formation, I think Ytterhogdals is a decent choice with flexibility in offense. And we need somebody that's left-footed, so that means that Kulovac will remain at home. And also that we will not have another midfielder on the bench. We could take Hellberg with, but I'd rather have Warwick on the bench at this point. He's also a bit of a different type of player, I think, with the good finishing. So I don't know, but let's see. Okay, defensive formation is fine, this is fine. I wanted to talk to everybody about their conduct, right? Let's not do that, it wastes a lot of time. Set pieces, set piece takers and everything. This is all as it should be, hopefully. Let's go through opposition instructions. Oh, they signed Ibrahim Begovic. Yeah, I wanted to sign him. I feel inclined to swear at this point. I wanted to have this guy as a replacement for a striker, really. So I think he's a good one. And now we have no idea about their... Yeah, I cannot set up position instructions here. I don't know what to do here. Okay, this certainly makes it easy. One player needs a number, so let's give him one. Let's give him the 10. Why not? He's not a playmaker, but let's give him the 10. So let me have a look at sound. Gotta move that up a notch. And so we will try to park the bus on this and hopefully score one through a set piece or on the counter, whatever. Anderson's nervous. Apparently, that was an indicator for the remainder of the squad, because if the captain's nervous with his 20 level points of leadership, yeah, he feels the pressure lifted now. Okay, this is good. For the rest of them, though, I want to encourage him. But I feel the captain influenced the rest of the squad here. That's, in a way, that's a good thing. He's got 20 points of leadership. So, he's got something going for him. First game of the season! So, we will title them the Incapables. Well, maybe they are capable, though. And I'll encourage them immediately. Terzic. Reljanovic, Kemp, Ramani. Gotta learn a lot of new players for this season. Diallo. This is not a home pitch, by the way, but this might suit us. From if you look at it, it's not well, it's not really narrow, but it's rather narrow, I think. It's not a wide pitch. Ishak. Oh, that's bad defending. Ends up with Tillander. Goes for a cross for Ishak. That's outside. It looked like it crossed the ball. Yeah, the crossed the ball. The ball crossed the line. Puget with a free kick. Ha! Smashes the crossbar. I don't know why Puget took the free kick though. What's going on there? This is not... So we set this up. I will look into this now. This really annoys me. What happened there? Free kicks. It was an attacking free kick. Yeah, we did it wrong. that's on me. What? So where's the midfielder, right? This is so weird. So we did it wrong. That's my fault. Apparently, he... Okay. Let's look into the other ones too. Yeah, that's also the left midfielder. I did it wrong. Not sure what's going on here. This is correct. Okay. Let's confirm these changes. So, somebody with 4 points of free kick taking just took a free kick. I might have done that wrong. Or I might, I don't know. Football Manager might have mixed it up all over again. But it's probably on me. I will need to check that after the game. Oh, that's a great deep ball for Ibrahim Begovic. Not a big deal though. Was well blocked. Would have been funny if Puget would have scored that one. But with 4 points of free kick taking. Tillander. In other words, Tillander might have scored that one. Tillander. Ishak with the head. Top of the goal. So, yeah. But his 4 points of free kick taking are not, well, not encouraging. Well, it was a good one though, yes. But it was also a nice position. Arsarsson, Forsell. Overall, what I enjoy so far is we don't give away that many chances. Puget, and that's the primary concern of this formation. So we got a corner here. A corner. Corners are good for us. Let's see if corner taking is on point. Let's check. So this should be Corovic, it is. This is Puget. Yeah. We've got somebody lurk at a near post. Ytterhogdals lurks at it. Okay. Or he marks keeper, I'm not sure. He's lurking at the near post. And these two... Yeah, he's attacking the far post. He's attacking the near post. He marks keeper. And Forsell is... he attacks from deep. And there's nobody else out here. These back here. That's Arsarsson, Muteba, and Anderson. This is fine. They stay back. So we might not have... and we drew out somebody here, so this is good. Ishak. 29 to go, Mr. Split Biff. 29 to go. This is how I want the start to look like. Wonderful header in the corner of the net. Fantastic. So now we're up one, and they didn't manage to create that many chances so far. Either they commit to it, or, well, we defend the one goal. And you might remember that we strengthened defense a little bit. Not by much. Another free kick, Corovic. Ishak. He might have made Al Holmström forgotten in one game. Well, in half a game there. Ytterhogdals, not bad defending. Let's not forget that Ibrahim Begovic is a really dangerous striker though. He's got the pace, he's got the, if I recall it correctly. Oh, great one for Corovic. And we get a long shot here. And he's got a decent long shot, by the way. Should probably instruct him to shoot more often, right? Well defended here. Ishak muscles through. He's got a decent pace. That's a questionable cross. And also questionable performance by the keeper. So Corovic here, he's got long shots 11. Oh, he's already instructed to shoot more often. Forget that I said anything. Now Tillander is the correct one. Let's check this too. Forsell is out here. Corovic is out here. So these two are expected to take a long shot. As you can see, they draw out defenders though. This is great. And one of them is on the yellow. So in the middle of the penalty area, this is 5 against 4. This looks rather decent, yes. Tillander, Puget. Okay, that's the most unlikely one of them to get the ball though. But yeah, did look well. Albrechtson. If the stuff with the set pieces works throughout the season, I might do that prior to every season going forward. And I might actually enjoy it at some point. Tillander, Forsell. This can be quite fulfilling, I think. Yes, I think so. But what do we do with Puget? So the thing is, Puget is not a bad jumper though. Puget's got jumping reach 11. His strength is a bit lacking, and his heading is bad. The thing is, yeah, heading is 4. So that was a wide one, right? So this was not a corner, this was a free kick. Indirect wide. He took it, yes, exactly as instructed from setup wise. So what do we do with him otherwise? That's a problem. We can switch him to go forward to take the central defender at far post. So in that case, that is due to the positioning of the ball on the pitch though, prior to taking the free kick. Because a striker going into the penalty area like this is fine. This might work, but if it's... They are instructed to go for the best header, but it might have ended up with him due to being a stray ball, because well, the cross is not great, and also due to the fact that the distance is it's just too small. It was too small to find one of the others. So in that sense, but I'd rather attack 2 posts here. So let's go with this, and on the left side, well, the two are forward. Let's see. Really, it depends a bit on the specific situation, I think, and I'm not sure if the instruction can be that great for every situation, and that's mostly down to the exact position on the pitch. Also, some of it might count as deep all of a sudden and not wide. So, oh, this is a great long ball. Is this a red? Corovic with the shot immediately. I thought this was a foul, though. I thought it was a foul, but he went with the shot. In this situation, after 37 minutes, I'd rather have the red card. Forsell. Ramani. This doesn't look like good defending by them though. We look well in control of the game here. Forsell with the lob for Ishak. Goes directly towards goal. We've got 8 chances now. They didn't manage to... I mean, they had 1 shot. I'm not inclined to praise them just yet. So again, free kick here. This is probably free kick from deep. Ishak, Hellström, Puget just goes forward, I think. Who's this? I don't know who this is. Ytterhogdals. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Corovic and Forsell lurking outside. Yeah, that's okay. And in the defensive formation, they will remain at the back, yes. Cross, Ytterhogdals. Okay. Not a good header, but it's what we expect of Hogdal. A lot of stray headers, but winning them. So overall, we had a decent momentum here. Happy with that. Keep it up, guys. Also, this means that Anderson had a decent game so far, because there was no defensive, lapse in concentration so far. And Anderson is absolutely incapable of playing at this level. He should be. Same here, could have been counted as a foul. They defend this really well without opposition instructions. Ishak. Okay. Ishak. Well, 5 points of finishing. You saw it just now. But he's an aggressive one here. He doesn't play as a target man in this situation, by the way. He plays as a pressing forward. Puget wins the ball and goes for the clearance. Ishak closing down the defender. That's a decent cross. Ends up with Ibrahim Begovic. But it's offside. Great. Muteba with the throw for Forsell. Muteba again. Telander's not a natural header. But okay. Worked out. He's in position, so defensively this is not a bad setup probably. Anderson with the throw. They're instructed to take short ones here. He gets it back, goes for the cross. Let's have a look at the lineup here on the pitch. Ishak is close. I don't like that, but it is how it is. And Puget is in the middle. Corovic is on the edge of the area, so there's nobody in the penalty area here. Let's have a look at these though. The defenders are in the back. And that's what we instructed them to be. Due to the fact that this is the defensive formation. Nice one. We nearly created a chance there anyway. Telander, will he go for the shot? Runs all over the pitch. And then loses the ball. This is classic Telander. Nah. But he could have gone for the shot though. Now we defend a throw in. Oh. Well, we gave away a header there, but Hellström was in position. So he should have defended that. It's not due to tactical instructions here. Come on. That's dangerous. It was defended by Muteba though. But the cross went all over the central defenders. Corovic doesn't win that one. Well, he's not a physical player, so unsurprising. Hellström, well headed out for Telander. What can he do with it? He runs with it. Past one defender, not past the second. Corovic, Anderson with the cross from deep for Telander. Oh, it's a penalty! It's a penalty! Well, Mr. Ramani, that might result in a yellow card. And we instructed them how to do penalties. Who's gonna be it? It's gonna be Corovic with the penalty. Corovic with the penalty. Can he score on his debut? That's even worse than the ones by our Holmström last season. That was a pass. That's probably down to composure. Should have done better. Anderson, well defended here. Telander, Anderson again. Oh, he loses the ball to Kamp. Anderson was close. Anderson, Corovic, Telander. With the pass for Forsell. Can he find a killer ball? No, he can't. Anderson, nice long pass for Corovic. Corovic's got the passing. For Puget. Manages to keep hold of the ball. Goes down the wing. With the cross. Ishak. So close. We nearly scored one on the counter here. Anderson for Ishak. With the cross. Puget. Bounces around in the middle of the penalty area, and now, well, man-wise, we should be able to defend this. Face the counter here. Yeah, not a problem. This should be well defended. Hellström with the ball. Muteba, Hellström, Asarsen. Hellström with the long ball for Ishak. And, well, Corovic didn't move. Should have come closer. That ended up with Engelbrechtsson by accident, and Anderson didn't look well there. But overall, who's tired? Let's look into this. So Ytterhogdals a bit tired. That means we can play Wickberg here. He's nervous though. And Ishak has a good game. But at this point, I'm not sure if we need him on the pitch anymore. Do we want to take him off? Not sure. In a counter situation, he was still fast enough, but I'm inclined to go with Warwick at this point. He can play pressing forward, I think. Yes, that's fine for him. So, okay, we've got 20 minutes to go in this match. Let's give them individual talks though, because he's nervous. Yeah, so I want to see the result intact, but let's not pressure that, yeah. His performance, and he can be encouraged, I think. So, pump fists. Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't work. Given that he's a striker, maybe I should have told him to make an impact. He's nervous on his debut. Oh man, I should have eased the pressure on him too. I knew it was his debut. Corovic. Corovic? What's this? That's the ball bouncing around, and we get a corner. Corner means it's Corovic time. Yeah, this side at least. Right-footed corner, let's check this. Puget is out here, this is great. Warwick here, yes, this is okay in this situation. We've got Wickberg here, Telander back here, and there's Hellström. And here's Forsell. And the back is covered by Asarson, Anderson, and Muteba. Sure. This works just fine. I'm happy with that. So, Mr. Corovic. Can you bring a decent corner in? Come on. Do it, we need a second. Not a bad one. Oh, Puget wins another header here. Hellström tucks on the shirt of the opponent's player. Well, that's a way to avoid a counter. So, yeah, that's good. We face a free kick here. Direct one. Top of the goal. We're lucky. Should have scored that penalty. Okay, let's wait this. Let's wait through this. Warwick, nice cross. Bit too far for Puget, and it's offside. Okay. So my thought process here is we got some other players on the bench. Most of the ones on the pitch are moderately tired, at least to some degree. Puget didn't have the greatest of games, so Ytterhogdals can make an appearance here. Malte Ekman can come on, I feel, but he doesn't need to. So in this situation, I'd rather give the new guys their first appearance. Hopefully they can make it through the rest of the game. And I'll tell all of them to ease pressure. Even Ytterhogdals. Yeah. Apparently there's a lot of pressure on the team for some reason. Maybe due to the fact that we sold the best players prior to this. Sederberg. Time wasting should be on anyway. Yeah, whenever possible. Warwick was unable to win that one. This is great here. Thank you. Oh, now it goes. Well defended by Wickberg. Nugogo, fresh on the pitch. He's got really great physicals, but that's about it. Vikberg with the long ball for Warwick. Can he win this? No, he cannot. This looks dangerous. 86 minute. And we concede one. We could have gotten away with a win here. And there's a long ball, that's a lapse in concentration probably by Hellstrom. It was, well, or not concentration maybe, but his bad marking showed here. He's on 5 or 6 points marking. The rest of him is, as a central defender, is really up to the standard of the league, but the marking isn't great. The 19-year-old didn't defend well. Reljanovic, Corovic, Warwick. Now Corovic will be really annoyed after the game. Should have scored that penalty. Ngogo for Fossell. Asarson. Still wasting time here though. Just cause a point's a point. And in an away game, I'm willing to go for the single point. This should be offside. Yeah, and it is. Whistle came late, but it was offside. Hellstrom. With a long ball, Corovic will not be able to reach that one, and neither will Tillander. Oh! Tillander with the accidental cross managed to get at the end of it, yeah. Ali Forsell, well closed down. Wow. Radjanovic will need treatment apparently. So overall we should have won that match. But there's 4 minutes to go. We need to see it through first. Tillander, decent defending. Squad's well formed here. Wickberg, good defending here too. Yeah, it was offside. Okay, we got that. Sederberg, 3 minutes to go. Corovic doesn't win the header. Alp, Forsell, back for Alp. Liljedal, Alp goes for the cross for Warwick. Yeah, that's a stray one. Might not be his strong suit though. Let's look. I think Alp's crossing is not great. Oh, it's 9. So disregard that. I was wrong about that. Asarson. Will he find Liljedal? Liljedal cuts inside, but cross for Corovic. Warwick. Ah. Loses the ball. Back with Wickberg. Forsell. Yet another cross out on the wing for Tillander. It's not another penalty though. It's offside. Another penalty would have made my day. Wickberg. Corovic. Ngogo. It's Ngongo, by the way. Ngongo. Wickberg. So my bad. Sorry, Mr. Ngongo. Wickberg. Warwick doesn't manage to win it. They go with the direct passing here. Wickberg well intercepted. 1.5 minutes to go. Come on guys, do something with it. Chances wise, we deserve to win this one. But on the other hand, a point as an away game. Hellstrom. Well defended this time. Alp with the cross for Warwick. Doesn't manage to win it though. So they are no-nonsense fullbacks, by the way. They don't have to go for early crosses. Ngongo gives away a corner. We set up corner defending, hopefully in the right way. So this is zonal marking here. Hellstrom left his position immediately, but it was well defended this time. That's it. 1 point. 1 point out of this game. First game of the season, away game, we got a point. I can deal with that. And, well, the set pieces, we find some minor errors. So, yeah, we'll look into these. Given that this episode has been more or less about set pieces anyway, I'm happy with that. But given that it was an episode about set pieces, we should probably configure that right now and have a look into it. So I'm happy with it. Don't want to comment on individual performances. The striker did well. Ishak? Yeah. It's really down to the penalty at this point. We should have scored that penalty and then it would have gone well. So that's not a good one. But going forward, we might do with this. So we had a problem with set pieces, not with the takers. Well, actually, yes, with the takers. But the instructions for free kicks, it was a defensive formation on the right side. This is as instructed. Yeah, that's the problem. This is wrong. Now it's right. So this is defensive header DSC, right? Wide one, neither left winger, it should be him. Defensive header wide right. So this one, and then we have the deep one. Alright. So we got this done. So Ishak scores on his debut. As I said, 29 to go. If he wants to please Mr. Splitbiff. We'll go through the press conference. I think he could have done better. Yeah. Sure. Okay, that's about it. We answered all of this. Great. So that's it for today. Now I will see if well, I planned for a 2-hour stream. I've done 3 hours and 6 minutes now. So that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow 9:30. I also had problems with setting up schedules on Twitch. Same for you. Have a nice Sunday, and we will see each other tomorrow, hopefully 9:30 p.m. GMT +1. I will not be around at Tuesday. Tuesday I will be well, off road. No. On the road, whatever. I'll be not be around. So yeah, but tomorrow we'll see each other, hopefully. And have a nice rest of the weekend, everybody. Try to enjoy a bit of the sun. And in case you see this on YouTube later on, might come over to Twitch at some point. So yeah, that's it. Have a good one.